My name is Rachel. I run a small cafe in a residential neighborhood in Portland, Oregon. My husband David is an architect, and our 3-year-old daughter Lily is our treasure. I wake up at 6 in the morning and get to the kitchen before David. When I turn on the coffee maker, the aroma of the beans spreads through the quiet house. Outside the window, it's still dim, and the trees in the yard sway faintly in the morning mist. This quiet time was my favorite part of the day. I hear David's footsteps coming down the stairs. He's always a man of few words, but he's kind. When he comes into the kitchen, he silently places his hand on my shoulder and gives me a light kiss. That was our morning greeting. "I'll drop Lily off at daycare today and then head to the cafe," I say, and David nods, slowly drinking his freshly brewed coffee. Watching his profile, I notice that sometimes he has a distant look in his eyes, as if he's gazing far away. I want to ask what he's thinking, but I don't. We have that kind of unspoken understanding. We respect each other's silence and don't push too hard. I somehow knew that was how we protected our relationship. By the time Lily wakes up, the morning sun is streaming through the window. She comes pattering down the stairs on her little feet, rubbing her sleepy eyes and hugging me. "Good morning, Lily." "Good morning, Mommy." When I pick her up, her warm, soft body fits against my chest. In this moment, I truly feel happy. My day at the cafe is busy. My regular customer, Mrs. Margaret, comes in and orders her usual cappuccino. She often tells me about her late husband. "Rachel, you look happy," she says. "Yes, I'm blessed," I smile. But somewhere in my heart, there's a part of me that can't fully agree with those words. I should be happy, yet sometimes I feel something heavy deep in my chest. I don't even know what it is myself. In the evening, I go to pick up Lily from daycare. She's playing with her friends, and when she sees me, she runs over with a big smile on her face. "Mommy, guess what? I drew a picture today." "That's wonderful. Show me when we get home." When we get back home, David isn't back from work yet. I feel like his business trips have been increasing lately. 3 times a week, sometimes 4, he goes to distant job sites. He often comes home late, and there are days when he doesn't make it back before Lily goes to bed. While preparing dinner, I feel a little lonely. Maybe David is pushing himself too hard because the cafe's income isn't enough. When I think that, I start to blame myself. That night, David came home after 8. Lily was already asleep. "Welcome home," I say, and he smiles with a tired expression. "I'm home." "Is Lily already asleep?" "Yes, I put her to bed at 7:30. David goes to Lily's room and quietly opens the door to gaze at our sleeping daughter. Watching his back, I can feel how deeply he treasures her. At night, before getting into bed, David goes around checking all the windows and locks in the house. This was his usual habit. At first, I thought it was just his meticulous nature, but lately it seems like his actions have become more thorough. He checks the front door twice, 3 times, and touches the window locks repeatedly to make sure. "It's okay, I checked earlier," I say, but he says, "just to be sure," and checks with his own eyes. When we get into bed, David lies down next to me and stares at the ceiling. His cell phone lights up on the nightstand. It's a message notification. He immediately reaches for it and checks the screen. "Who's it from?" I ask, and he answers briefly, "Work." But there's a shadow in his expression, like he's hiding something. I don't ask any more. I feel like I shouldn't. That night, I had another nightmare. A dream where someone is chasing me. I'm running through dark alleys, and when I look back, a shadow is closing in. I hear a voice. A voice calling my name. When I wake up, My whole body is drenched in sweat. David woke up and silently held me. He doesn't ask anything. He's just there for me. That was our way. The next morning, David was preparing for a business trip. "I'll be gone for 3 days, 2 nights, he says. "Be careful," I answer with a smile. Lily asks sadly, "Daddy, another business trip?" David picks up our daughter and holds her longer than usual. "I'll be back soon," he says, and gets in the car. Holding Lily's hand, I watch until the car turns the corner and disappears from sight. The cafe was busy from the morning. Tuesdays always have a lot of regulars, and by the time the morning rush ends, my feet hurt. The sound of the espresso machine, cups clinking together, customers' conversations. The usual routine envelopes me. Around 3 in the afternoon, after the lunch rush, my staff member Emily brought a new cake recipe. She's aspiring to be a pastry chef. "Rachel, could you try this?" she says, holding out a small plate. When I take a bite of the lemon cake, the sweet and sour taste spreads in my mouth. It's delicious. "Let's add it to next week's menu." Emily smiled happily. Moments like these are what keep me tied to this job. Being able to make people smile. That was my reason for living. At 5 in the evening, as I was preparing to close the cafe, my cell phone rang. It was a message from David. "Work is busy. Might not be able to contact you tomorrow." I stared at the screen, feeling a little lonely. But I understand that he's working hard. "Okay. Don't push yourself too hard," I replied and put the phone in my pocket. When I went to pick up Lily from daycare, she was playing with friends in the sandbox. With her small hands, she was scooping sand and putting it in a bucket. Watching her innocent figure naturally brought a smile to my face. "Lily, time to go." "Mommy, look. I made a castle." At the end of her pointing finger was a slightly crumbling mound of sand. "That's lovely. But it's time to go now." I go home and prepare dinner. Macaroni and cheese, Lily's favorite, and salad. Without David, the dinner table feels a little quiet. "When is Daddy coming home?" Lily asks. "The day after tomorrow." "Soon," I answer. After dinner, I bathe Lily and put her in pajamas. She rubs her sleepy eyes and gets into bed. "Mommy, tell me a story." "What kind of story would you like?" "A princess story." I begin telling Lily's favorite fairy tale. A story where a princess overcomes difficulties and lives happily ever after. As she listens to my voice, her eyelids gradually grow heavy. "Good night, Lily." "Good night, Mommy." Looking at my daughter's sleeping face, warmth fills my chest. I have to protect this child. That's my role as a mother. I go back to the living room and sit on the sofa. I turn on the TV, but the content doesn't register. There's no contact from David. Is he working in a hotel room right now? Or is he meeting with someone at a job site? I pick up my cell phone and think about sending him a message. But I stop. I don't want to bother him. Looking at the clock, it's 10 p.m. time to go to bed soon. I take a shower and get into bed. The wide bed without David feels oddly cold. When I close my eyes, I immediately fall asleep. But that night, a nightmare attacked me again. I'm running through dark alleys. I hear footsteps behind me. When I look back, a shadow is closing in. No matter how much I run, it's about to catch me. I hear a voice. "Rachel." A voice calling my name. A voice I know. A voice I wanted to forget. "Rachel, wait." My heart pounds violently. I can't breathe. My feet tangle and I almost fall. Rachel, I love you. When I wake up, my whole body is drenched in sweat. My heart is still racing. Looking at the clock on the nightstand, it's 1 in the morning. I take deep breaths, trying to calm myself. It's just a dream. It's over now. I tell myself that. I get out of bed and go to the kitchen. I take water from the refrigerator, pour it into a glass, and drink it all at once. The cold water goes down my throat, and I feel a little calmer. Looking out the living room window, the streetlights illuminate the quiet residential neighborhood. No one is there. It's quiet. It's okay. It's over now, I whisper softly. I go back to bed and lie down again. If only David were here. If only his warm arms would hold me. Thinking that, I close my eyes. But my sleep is shallow, and I wake up many times. And then, at 2 in the morning. Suddenly, my cell phone rings. A shrill sound that tears through the silence. My heart jumps. Who could it be at this hour? I pick up the phone from the nightstand and look at the screen. David. It's from him. Why at this hour? Did something happen? An accident? Work trouble? With trembling hands, I answer the phone. Hello, David. What's wrong, at this hour? From the other end of the phone, I hear my husband's breathless voice. Rachel, lock all the doors in the house right now. All the windows too. His voice was urgent. Different from his usual calm voice. A desperate voice, as if frightened by something. What? What happened? Just do it quickly. I'll explain later. But. Please. Hurry. Protect Lily. The call ended. I sat on the bed in a daze, gripping my cell phone. What's happening? David's voice. I've never heard him sound so desperate. Protect Lily. Those words echo in my head. Something is approaching our daughter. I jump up and rush into Lily's room. My daughter is sleeping quietly. Her small chest rises and falls regularly. Seeing her defenseless form, I know I have to protect her no matter what. I rush to the bed and pick up my daughter along with the blanket. Lily wakes up and rubs her eyes sleepily. Mommy. It's okay. Mommy's here. My voice was trembling. I desperately try to smile so she won't notice. Still holding Lily, I head to the front door. My heart is racing. David's words repeat in my head. Lock all the doors in the house right now. All the windows too. I put my hand on the front door. I check the lock. It's locked. But I turn it again. It's definitely locked. Next is the back door. I go through the kitchen to the service entrance. I turn the lock. I go back to the living room and check the windows. With one arm holding Lily, I use the other hand to lock them. The window in my daughter's room. The bedroom window. I locked them all. I tell myself that, but my heart won't stop pounding. Something is wrong. Something is approaching. Gripping my cell phone, I call David. He answers immediately. David, I locked everything. What's happening? From the other end of the phone, I hear the sound of a car engine. He's driving. I'm heading there now. Don't open the door under any circumstances. Don't open it no matter who comes. Who's coming? Tell me. My voice was close to a scream. Lily looks up at my face anxiously. I'm sorry. I'll explain later. I called the police too. They'll be there soon. Police. David, What happened? Please. Don't open the door under any circumstances. Promise me. Okay. The call ended. I sit down on the living room sofa, holding Lily on my lap. My daughter is looking at me anxiously. Mommy, what's wrong? It's okay. Daddy will be home soon. Saying that, I listen carefully, trying to hear sounds from outside. The sound of wind. The sound of trees swaying. The sound of a car passing in the distance. And then, at that moment, I heard the sound of the front doorknob turning. Slowly, repeatedly. I held my breath. My whole body freezes. Someone is trying to open the door. Lily starts trembling slightly. Mommy. Quiet. Don't make a sound. I gently cover my daughter's mouth with my hand. I can feel my hand shaking. The sound of the doorknob turning stops. Silence returns. But it was only for a moment. Outside the living room window, I see a figure. Illuminated by the streetlight, the outline of a man vaguely emerges. The shadow approaches the window. And then he knocks on the window. Lily starts crying softly. I hold my daughter tightly. Rachel. I hear a man's voice. Through the window glass, a low voice. A voice I know. Rachel, open up. It's me. The moment I hear that voice, something inside me collapses. Memories from 10 years ago come flooding back all at once. The same voice. The same words. Rachel, I love you. A rainy night. He was standing in front of my apartment. Please. Just hear me out. Me running away. Him chasing after me. Why are you running? We're meant to be together. Let go of me. I scream. He's being handcuffed. But his eyes are looking at me. I'll come back. I'll come for you. 10 years in prison. I'll never see him again. But I was broken. I couldn't sleep at night. I felt like someone was watching. A hospital bed. White ceiling. Bandages on my wrists. I can't live anymore. I'm pulled back to the present. The man outside the window knocks on the window again. Rachel, I finally found you. I've been looking for you all this time. Trembling, I stand up. Still holding Lily, I move away from the window. Don't come near me. I called the police. I wanted to see you. I've been thinking about you all this time. The man's voice was calm. A gentle voice, like speaking to a lover. That made it even more terrifying. Lily continues crying against my chest. Mommy, I'm scared. It's okay. It's okay. Saying that, all I can do is hold my daughter. The shadow outside the window moves. The man is walking around the house. Maybe he's heading to the back door. I hear the sound of a siren in the distance. The sound is getting closer. The shadow outside the window disappears. Did the man run away? I sit down on the floor, continuing to tremble while holding Lily. I lose track of time. I don't know if it's been minutes or hours. There's a loud knocking on the front door. Police. Are you all right? I stand up and head to the front door on trembling legs. Looking through the door scope, I see 2 uniformed police officers standing outside. I unlock the door and open it. Are you all right? A young officer looks at me with concern. My daughter is okay. That's all I can manage to say. Tears overflow. Another officer enters the house and starts checking each room. The suspect escaped. But we'll catch him soon. Even hearing those words, I can't feel relieved. He'll come back. He'll come again. And then, I hear the sound of a car engine. A car makes a sudden stop in front of the house, and I hear the sound of a door opening. Running footsteps. Rachel. Lily. It's David. He rushes into the front door. Seeing my husband, everything I've been holding back pours out all at once. David holds us tight. Strong, so strong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. His voice is trembling too. Why did you know? I ask while burying my face in my husband's chest. I'll explain later. Right now, I'm just glad you're safe. Lily is crying between us. The three of us stay embraced in the entryway, unable to move for a while. The next morning, a gray sky stretched overhead. After leaving Lily with my mother-in-law, I headed to the police station alone. David said he would come with me, but I declined. This was something I had to face myself. The interrogation room at the police station was cold and impersonal. The detective sitting across the desk had a calm expression. Last night must have been difficult for you. Yes. My voice was hoarse. I barely slept all night. Do you remember the incident from 10 years ago? The detective opens a file. Inside it is the past I've been trying to forget. Yes, I remember. The perpetrator, Mark Thompson, was released 3 months ago. Hearing those words, the blood drains from my body. 3 months ago. I didn't know. Normally, victims are notified of the release. The detective said apologetically. It seems the notification didn't reach you. There may have been a problem with the address change procedure. I'm stunned. 3 months ago. And I knew nothing. But David knew. Why did my husband know that he was released? The detective thinks for a moment before answering. Your husband apparently investigated on his own. He hired a private detective. A private detective. David hired a private detective without telling me anything. I leave the police station and go home. David is waiting in the living room. My mother-in-law took Lily to the park. She must have sensed that we needed to be alone. David. He looks at me and stands up. Rachel, please sit down. I want to talk. We sit facing each other on the sofa. A long silence flows. You knew that he was released. David nods. I'm sorry. Why didn't you tell me? My voice was trembling. Not with anger, but with sadness. David takes a deep breath. Sit down. I'll tell you everything. He clasps his hands and stares at the floor. Before we got married, I knew about your past. What? That you attempted suicide. That you were a victim of stalking. Everything. I gasp. How? I didn't tell you everything. Every time you had nightmares in the middle of the night, I noticed that you were still suffering. David looks at me. There's deep sadness in his eyes. So I investigated. Who the man was who made you suffer. I can't say anything. I also, David continues. I have a similar experience. What? When I was a child, my father used to beat my mother. I look at my husband in surprise. He's hardly ever talked about his past. Every night, I heard my mother's screams. I would hide under the covers in my room and cover my ears. David's voice trembles. But I could hear it. The sound of the door being hit. My mother's crying. My father's yelling. David. I was small and couldn't do anything. I just trembled. He clenches his fists. One day, my mother left home. She left me behind. I place my hand over my husband's hand. I can't blame her. To escape from my father, that's what she had to do. What happened after that? I lived with my father. When he wasn't drinking, he was a decent person. But I always thought. David looks at me. Never again would I fail to protect someone important to me. Never. I'm beginning to understand the meaning of my husband's words. That's why you hired a detective. When Mark Thompson was released, I hired a detective to monitor him. Why didn't you tell me? Because you were finally able to smile. Tears well up in David's eyes. When we got married, you were still scared sometimes. You would flinch at the sound of the door, or brace yourself when strangers approached. I nod. That was certainly true. But after Lily was born, you gradually smiled more. The cafe got on track, and every day seemed enjoyable. David. I didn't want you to be scared ever again. So I tried to solve everything on my own. I squeezed my husband's hand tightly. But you were carrying it all alone. I'm sorry. I thought I could protect everything. Tears run down my cheeks. David's tears or mine, I can't tell. David, you tried to protect me. I'm very grateful for that. He looks at me. But, I continue. I've become stronger too. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Rachel. You carrying everything alone, that's not what family is. I look into my husband's eyes. We should have fought together. David says nothing and holds me. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. From now on, together. No matter what. I promise. We hold each other for a while. A few days later, I get a call from the police. Mark Thompson has been arrested and will stand trial. This time he'll be charged with stalking, attempted trespassing, and violation of parole. A month later, I stand in court. Mark sits in the defendant's seat, looking down. He looks thinner and older than 10 years ago. Does the victim have anything to say? The judge asks. I stand up and look at Mark. I'm not afraid of you anymore. Mark raises his face and looks at me. 10 years ago, you took everything from me. Security, peace, hope for the future. My voice wasn't trembling. But I survived. I built a new life. I have a family I love. Mark looks down. You can no longer affect my life. The judge strikes the gavel. Mark Thompson, I sentence you to 15 years in prison. When I leave the courtroom, David is waiting. He holds me. You did well. Because we're together. I look up at my husband and smile. No matter what happens from now on. Yes, I promise. We hold hands and leave the courtroom. 3 months have passed since the trial, and our lives are gradually regaining their peace. David and I go to couples counseling once a week. Our counselor, Dr. Miller, is a kind and gentle person. Her office has large windows, and the afternoon light fills the room. You've both learned to share your past wounds, Dr. Miller says. Yes, I answer. I was scared at first, but when I talked about it, I felt a little lighter. David nods too. I thought being strong meant carrying everything alone. But I was wrong. True strength is being able to rely on others, Dr. Miller smiles. Showing vulnerability strengthens relationships. I hold David's hand. He gently squeezes back. Lily is also gradually recovering. For the first few weeks, she often woke up crying in the middle of the night. But when we were both there in the bedroom and immediately held her, she would fall asleep feeling safe. One night, Lily asked me, "Mommy, what is family?" I look at David. He looks at me and smiles. Family is people who protect each other. And, David continues, people who accept each other's weaknesses. Lily thinks for a moment, then says brightly, "Then we're a family." That's right, I hold my daughter. We're a family. One day, a letter arrives in the mailbox. Looking at the sender, I hesitate a little. It's from Mark Thompson's mother. I open the envelope and read the letter. "Dear Rachel, I'm not asking you to forgive what my son did. I just hope that you will be happy. My son was sick. I failed to notice that. As a mother, I'm truly sorry." When I finish reading the letter, tears overflow. But they're not tears of sadness. David peers over from the side. "Are you going to write back?" I shake my head. No. But I received her feelings. No longer imprisoned by the past. Yes. I'm moving forward now. On the weekend, we go to the park as a family. Lily rides the swing, pumping high. Her laughter echoes in the blue sky. David and I sit on the bench holding hands. "Thank you," I say. "For what?" "For protecting me that night." David squeezes my hand tightly. "Thank you too, for saying, 'Let's fight together.' From now on, together no matter what." "Yes, I promise." Lily looks back and waves at us. "Mommy, Daddy, look. I can swing really high." We smile and wave back. A warm spring breeze is blowing. Cherry blossom petals dance down and scatter on the grass. I rest my head on David's shoulder. He pulls my shoulder close. "Happy?" he asks. "Yes. Very much so." A real family isn't about blood ties. It's about accepting each other's wounds and walking together. Showing each other our weaknesses and supporting each other. We learned that. Lily gets off the swing and runs over. "Mommy, Daddy, I'm hungry." "Then let's go get ice cream," David says. Yay! Lily takes our hands and pulls us. David and I look at each other and laugh. The three of us walk through the park holding hands. This is our family. Not perfect, but real. And that was enough. Looking up at the sky, a cloudless blue sky stretches overhead. A new season is beginning. The shadows of the past no longer chase us. We face forward and walk together. From now on, always.